Okay, welcome in, one and all. I'm now going to be reviewing all of Wednesday night's action in the NHL. There were a total of 5 games on tap, so let's get to it. Starting with the teams you see on your screen between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Montreal Canadiens. Savard would get his first goal this season for the Montreal Canadiens, 6 minutes and 24 seconds into that opening period. Struble, I apologize, would then get his second goal of the year. He's looking like a solid defensive, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. 7 minutes and 39 seconds to go in that frame, assisted by Pizzetta and Yolonen. Crosby would then cut into the lead, getting their first goal of the game, his 16th of the season from O'Connor, 13 minutes and 48 seconds in that frame. Sean Monahan would then increase the lead to 3-1 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the period. A power play goal, his 9th of the season from Suzuki and Matheson. So it was 3-1 in favor of the Habs heading into the second. Gensel would get a power play goal 5 minutes and 36 seconds into that frame, getting his 13th goal this season from Crosby and Carlson. And speaking of Crosby, he would then get a power play goal with 9 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the frame, assisted by Carlson and Malkin. That would be a 17th goal of the season. There were no goals to report in the third period or overtime. We had to go all the way to a shootout to decide a winner in this one, where Harkins would get the game-winning goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the final score in this one is 4-3. With that, the Penguins are now 13, 12, and 3. And with the overtime loss, the Habs are 12, 13, and 4. Okay. The next matchup takes place in New Jersey, and they're playing host to the Boston Bruins. So we have the teams on the screen as we speak. So Geeky would kick things off in the first, but it'd be a late goal. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the period, his third of the season from Van Riemsdyk and Heinen. In the third, Mercer would tie things up at 1, getting a 7th of the season from Haula and Holtz, and that goal happened 2 minutes and 34 seconds into that frame. Jack Hughes would get the overtime winner 2 minutes and 47 seconds into that period, so there's actually only 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the frame. His 11th of the season from Vrat and Vanasek. So with that, the New Jersey Devils are 15, 11, and 1. And despite the loss, the Bruins are still atop of that Atlantic Division, 18, 5, and 4. All right, the next matchup takes place on Long Island, where we have the host team Islanders, and they're playing against the Anaheim Ducks. We'll take a look at the goal scoring summary. Palmieri, there were no goals to report in the first, but Palmieri would get things going just 40 seconds into that second period, his 9th of the season from Nelson and Bashing. Cizikas would increase the lead to 2-0, 6 minutes 32 seconds into that frame, getting his 5th of the season from Clutterbuck and Dobson. Terry would get the Ducks on the board just a minute and 15 seconds after that, getting his 6th goal of the year from Mintyukov and Carlson, and that was a power play goal to note. Adam Henrique would tie things up with 6 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the period, getting a 6th goal this season from Vakanainen and Leeson. So it's all tied up at 2, heading into the third. Carrick would give the Ducks their first lead of the game, 5 minutes and 7 seconds into that frame, his 6th of the season. Barzal would score a power play goal, 7 minutes and 46 seconds into that frame, his 10th of the season from Bo Horvat and Dobson to tie things up at 3. And then Holmstrom would get a late goal with a minute and 33 seconds. He'd actually get a short-handed goal, his 8th of the season, as I mentioned before, assisted by Pajot. So with that, the Islanders are now sitting at 14, 7, and 7. They're now second in their division. And with the loss, the Ducks, hard to believe, are now the worst team in the Pacific, 10, 18, and 0. All right. The next matchup takes place in Colorado, where we have the Avalanche playing host to the Buffalo Sabres. Now, the big thing to take away from this game is this is the first game Eric Johnson has played against his former team. He spent his entire tenure of his career with the Avalanche before signing with the Sabres in this past offseason. All right, so just loading up the old phone there just to take a look at the scoring summary, so just bear with me. So Rantanen would kick things off in the first 5 minutes and 25 seconds into the frame, getting his 14th goal this season from McKinnon and Makar. Nichushkin would get his 11th goal this season from Olofsson and Rantanen to increase the lead to 2-0, 10 minutes and 28 seconds into that frame. Miles Wood would then give the Avalanche a 3-0 lead with just 8 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the period. Benton would finally get these Buffalo Sabres on the board with a minute and 22 seconds to go in that frame. His third goal this season from Dahlin and Peterka. Jump ahead to the third. Malinsky would get his first goal of, I believe, his career for the Colorado Avalanche, assisted by Jack Johnson and Jonathan Drouin, 2 minutes and 40 seconds into that frame. And then with a power play over halfway into the period, Nichushkin would then pot his second goal of the game, his 12th of the season, from McKinnon and Rantanen. And 5-1 is where we would stand at the end of this one. With that, the Avalanche are 18-9-2, still atop of that Central Division. And with the loss, the Sabres are still at the bottom. They're second last in the Atlantic Division at 12-15-3. Okay, the last game takes place in Los Angeles, where we have the Kings playing host to the Winnipeg Jets. So the Jets obviously played the night before and had a tough loss in San Jose. And let's see if they can be able to bounce back in LA. Kopitar would kick things off in the first, getting his 11th goal of the season from Fiala and Byfield. That would be a power play goal, 9 minutes and 36 seconds into that frame. Lafayette would then get his third goal of the season from Pierre-Luc Dubois, and that goal happened with 7 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the period. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Kings heading into the second. Ehlers would get the Jets on the board 6 minutes and 8 seconds into that period, his 8th of the season from Velarde. Ehlers would then get his second goal of the game, his 9th of the season from Velarde and Scheifele, with 6 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the frame. That tied things up at 2. Scheifele would then get a late goal with 5 minutes remaining in that period, his 10th of the season from Velarde and Ehlers. So it's 3-2 in favor of the Jets heading into the third. Velarde would get on the board for the Winnipeg Jets, increasing the lead to 4-2, his 2nd of the season from DeMello, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into that frame. And then Scheifele would get a very late goal, just at 2 seconds remaining in the period, 2nd of the game, 11th of the season from Nick Ehlers. So a pretty big game for Ehlers, Scheifele, and Velarde, I want to say, had 1, 2, 3 points. Yeah, Velarde had a goal and 2 assists. Scheifele had 2 goals and I believe an assist. And Ehlers had 2 goals as well. So multi-point games for those 3 guys. I apologize for the cough. All right, so now with that victory, the Winnipeg Jets are 17-9-2. Again, still top 3 in that Central Division. And the LA Kings, they're still top 3 in their division as well, 16-6-4. As always, if you like this type of content, I attempt to do videos on the daily, so please feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. And as always, take care.